We present you now the new version of the Apocalypse by Ruben Irizarry of 2019 with expanded interpretation, chapter by chapter. I hope it will be a blessing to you. Let's start. Chapter 11, And I was given a reed similar to a measuring stick, and I was told, Get up and measure the temple of God and the altar and those who worship in it. And the courtyard that is outside the temple, do not include it and do not measure it, because it was given to the Gentiles, and they will trample the holy city for 42 months. And I will give my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, covered with sacks of hair. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands that have been standing before the Lord of the earth. These 2 olive trees are the 2 witnesses nourished with the power of God. They could be Moses and Elijah, since the works carried out in their ministries when they were on earth are very similar to those that will be carried out during the Great Tribulation. We think it would be Moses and Elijah. We also give the possibility that Enoch can be one of them, and if someone wants to treat them unfairly, fire comes out of their mouths and totally devours the enemies, and if someone wants to harm them, so it will be necessary for him to be killed. They have the power to close the sky, so that no rain falls on the days when they prophesy, and they have the power to turn the waters into blood, and to strike the earth with every plague as many times as they want. These acts are similar to those that Moses performed in Egypt, prior to the exodus of God's people, and when they have completed their testimony, the beast that rises from the abyss will make war on them and will defeat them by killing them. The world government of the last days will kill them. And their corpse will remain on the square of the big city, on the square of Jerusalem, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where their Lord was also crucified. And the people of the peoples, tribes, languages and nations will see it, their corpse for 3.5 days, and they will not allow their corpses to be placed in a tomb. And the inhabitants of the earth rejoiced with what happened and enjoyed very calm mentally, and gave gifts to each other, because these 2 prophets tormented the inhabitants of all the earth. And after 3.5 days, a spirit of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and great fear fell on those who were beholding them. And they heard a powerful voice from heaven saying to them, Come up here, and they ascended to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies watched them. And in that hour a great earthquake occurred, and 1/10 of the city fell, and in the earthquake 7,000 people died, and the rest were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. And the second eye is over, behold, the third eye is coming quickly. And the 7th angel sounded the trumpet, and there were powerful voices in heaven, saying, The kingdom of the world has become our Lord's and his Christ's, and it will reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders who are seated on their thrones before God fell prostrate on their faces and worshiped God, saying, We thank you, Lord God, the Almighty, who you are and who you were, for you have taken your great power and reigned. And the nations were enraged, and your wrath came in the appointed time to judge the dead and to give the reward to your servants the prophets and the saints and to those who fear your name, the small and the great, and to destroy those who destroy the earth. And the temple of God was opened in heaven, and his ark of the covenant was seen in his temple, and there was lightning and voices and thunder and a great earthquake and hail.